see it moving?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can kind of see like how the whole
Yeah,
thing
there you
kind of
go.
lifts up.
And then it moves apart. See that? And your bangs get real short.
Okay. So, obviously you're here for your reset today. I wanted to ask you a few questions about, you've had this for almost 3 years now. I want to know, do you have any regrets with the system?
No.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Okay, that's good to know. And so tell me this. How is it to wash it? What would you tell somebody, like a new client for this? What would you tell them in terms of your tips for washing?
I like a lot of water pressure.
Okay.
I like going with the flow of the hair. When I scrub, I go this way. I don't scrub. I just kind of run my fingers through everything.
Okay.
I try to get underneath the edges, around the scalp line and where it's connected.
Okay.
And I use a handheld water thing when I'm rinsing the final rinse to make sure that I'm getting everything through. And that's about it.
Okay. Awesome.
And it's just easy. It's easy to wash.
So that was going to be my next question. Is like, do you feel like you had to make like a huge adjustment to like how you washed?
No, and I get up in the morning and wash it before I go to work sometimes. It's not a problem. If I wash it before I go to work, though, I don't generally use any curling or flat iron or anything because I can't quite get it dry enough before I go to work. So I prefer to wash it like, I wash it one day and then the next day I either flat iron or I curl with the curling iron.
Okay. And would you say that, just getting back to the drying, would you say that it does take longer to dry?
I don't think so. I
No,
really
not
don't.
too bad?
I think it's about 10 minutes at the most, 10, 15, but like I said, it's not completely dry. I can still feel that it's
A
the
little
top
bit of
is
moisture.
thicker.
Okay.
The top is thicker, so it's a little bit moist there. The sides are dry.
Got you.
But the top, what do you call that? The topper?
So the
topper
right, like the
takes a
closure or the
little-
topper, yes.
Takes a little longer to dry.
Okay, so that's good to know. Thank you so much. In terms of limitations, Joyce, do you feel like you have any limitations? Like there's things that you just can't do?
No. I actually put it in a pony or a bun at the back of my neck. I put it up in a little clip thing.
Okay.
I do lots of stuff with it.
Okay, so like with your activities, I think you like to golf and
Right.
don't you? I want to say I feel like you do like a lot of sort of summer desert type
Yes.
trips, like if you want to go in
Always
the
at
jacuzzi or the pool.
Yes, I'm always in.
Okay, so you don't feel like you have any limitations?
No.
That's good to know because really, truly, that's the idea is that you really
Right.
shouldn't have any limits.
Well, and I don't obviously never put it in the pool on purpose, but I put it up when I'm out at the pool, and I usually wear a hat, so it usually stays dry, but it can get a little water on it, spring splashing or whatever, but it's not a problem.
So she's saying that she normally puts it up. It got a little loud with the blow dryers. She's saying that she normally will put it up, maybe even put a hat on, but she doesn't feel like there's any limitations. And if anything, it might get a little wet from the pool, but she does a pretty good job of keeping it secure and out of the water,
Yes.
which is good for her hair anyway.
Yeah.
So getting back to, again, you're coming in today for a reset. Do you feel like when it does start to kind of move a little bit from your growth, is it difficult to manage?
No, it's something we can manage, but that's when it might get a little itchy.
So it starts to get a little bit itchy?
Yes.
Okay.
On my head. But that could be my head. You know what I have with my head.
So probably with the new growth coming in and then just the, the system itself, there's a return on the wefts, you've got the mesh material. So as it starts to grow, you're going to get a little bit more movement, and then the movement is moving the materials, which then can cause a little bit of itchiness.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. So Joyce, I know for some ladies, it's kind of hard to get past the cost of the system. The initial investment, can be it can be a lot. It's a lot. Setting up the system for the first time requires a lot of material, and of course a lot of hair. And so that initial cost can be a hefty price tag for some people. Do you feel like it's fairly priced? Do you feel like, you know,
I think it's worth every penny.
okay. That's good to know. I was curious. You've been doing this for a while. I know that it's something that you've worked into your budget, but a lot of people will ask about the cost and just if you feel like you said, like if you feel it's worth the investment, because it is a big investment.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely worth every penny. I would not change it for anything.
She said she wouldn't change it for anything. Awesome. So is there anything that you wish were different? So whether it was, something that you are feeling, something that is maybe part of the end result, is there anything that you wish were different or anything that you wish you could do that you can't do?
No, I wish I had better style. I mean, myself. I don't have a style. Regular hair, I don't have a style. You know what I mean? It's like, I struggle with the curling iron and I struggle with things, but I'm very happy with the way it looks.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you do an amazing job styling it. I can certainly come to your house on a weekly basis if you want for a small fee. But no, that's good to know. And that's reasonable, right? Like we all kind of wish we could do this style or that style, but I think you do a great job, by the way. Okay, so Joyce, if you could give like one piece of advice to someone who's maybe looking at getting this for the first time, the mesh integration system, what would you share with them?
I think it makes you feel whole again. When you have a situation where you have no hair and you're bald when you go to bed and you're bald when you get up, this is the closest thing to my natural hair that I could ever have. It feels like natural hair. It's better than my hair was. It's my hair was thin, fine, and this is much, much better.
Awesome. Okay, so Joyce, right now, so I just took the system off and now, I'm kind of just working through your hair. There's going to be some natural shedding, but do you feel like, Joyce, like that you have the same amount of hair as you had, 3 years ago? Or almost 3 years ago? Do you feel like?
Oh no, there's definitely more hair. I think I definitely have more hair. It's never going to come back, but there's definitely more hair.
Okay. So you don't feel like you've lost
Oh
more
no,
hair?
no,
Okay.
no, not at all.
That's so important for people to know because I think that that's a big question that we get is, am I going to lose more hair?
No.
So, okay, thank you for your honest answer on that. Let me ask you, if we go all the way back to the first time you ever got the system, do you remember sort of that feeling, like that first initial sort of adjustment, first few days, first few weeks? What was that like for you?
It was night and day. I felt like a complete person again, like I was whole. Before, I felt very I was
Were you a little self-conscious?
self-conscious.
Like,
is the
got
word.
you.
That's the word I was trying to say.
Okay.
Self-conscious.
So like a little bit self-conscious
Yes,
of it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you felt whole again.
I did feel whole again.
Wow.
Felt that just being able to get up in the morning and go to bed at night and have hair all the time, never have to worry about putting on a wig or putting on a skull cap or
That's amazing.
going through the misery.
That's amazing. Thank you, Joyce.
How are
So, Joyce, I'm just curious, does the system ever get itchy? And if it does, what do you do?
It only gets itchy when it's getting close to a refit or a tighten. When it's loose, that's when it gets itchy. And if you have fingernails, I just put my fingernail through the thing down to the mesh and just scratch like that. It's real easy.
Scratch.
It's real easy.
So,
It's the same as-
so it does get itchy, but you feel like you
Rarely.
can get in there and...
Yes.
And sometimes I
rarely.
tell people like to tap, like tap,
Yes.
tap, tap. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
A little bit.